You don't say.
You might be able to say like they did Pokemon, right?
I did, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. You can just insert other tags as well. It's hashtag Pokemon, hashtag heart of the cards.
No stream going on right now?
Hashtag sleeves, not slaps. That was one of the things last week. They posted a clip of Eric
cutting the
yeah.
Viral.
Yeah,
wasn't the Zard? Like
it wasn't a Zard, but it was an intake.
He cut a Zard loose too.
Yeah. I was there for the aftermath of that. He had these giant like
he had the chops off
branch cutters. Oh, it was that's right, the saw.
He busted out the chops off.
I gotta beat it.
Zard.
Yeah. Okay. Cannot be denied.
Round 3.
Yeah. I got a Dream Crush. It's my responsibility.
Hero 2.
No. I guess not Dream Crush. It's close though. I'm 1-1 and he's the only 2 left.
You gotta even the playing field. Right?
Yeah, exactly. It's my responsibility. Unfortunately, I'm off to a bad start since I lost.
You can put it on there. Yeah, so they didn't put salt on Travis' Cajun fries. They just said no salt on their shape.
It might be that they add fries to the fries, or add salt to the fries normally, and then it just happens to be that the Cajun seasoning has salt on it as well. It's a problem. Yeah,
it's like they went out of their way to do it. It wasn't even like they normally do it. They went out of their way to do it because it's on the receipt. They just didn't put salt on its fries.
Cajun fries.
They were Cajun fries.
Oh, okay. Well,
usually a Cajun seasoning has
It's
salt.
excusable.
So I'm just assuming
It's excusable because they're Cajun, but if they just didn't put salt on the regular fries, something's up.
yeah, they're doing something.
That's expensive though, isn't it? Like 10 cents a pound.
I don't know. I got salt in case you wanted it. Like, it's just really weird.
So can I? No.
Smish.
Wow, this is like the exact same hand. Okay. Alright.
Let's go. This time we have a Phantom, right?
That's nice.
So who's flipping over the edge of Jigglypuff and who's falling? Who's getting drunk?
Mine's almost as good as that.
Damn.
I'm not KOing my opponent turn 1, but it's good.
French.
We good?
Yep. Oh boy. That's goofy.
What's those HP? Like without.
It's 50. It's 50.
And then it's like a 30 right now? Because of the back?
40. But it's there as Cleffa's 5 through 6. And it's also just, a lot of the time it's randomly just bring it active, boost energy, use the best attack of your best attacker once.
I'm gonna trader Dark Gold out.
Sure.
It's the Manu brought there to trade with players.
It's just super efficient.
It's just like your upper prize, they're gonna get your prize, you just trade them. Just keep prize parity in your favor.
And we're gonna all energy and
You're
all
gonna poison
I'm
Ditto?
gonna poison spray. Gotta go for it.
Well, he can't, he's just a Ditto now. Is the important.
Oh, is he?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
He's affected with the starter kit.
Wow, that's interesting. There it is.
How does poison work in this game? That's good TCG. How does poison work? I've never been poisoned.
Oh, so it's affected by, I should have like a marker out to demonstrate it, but it takes 10 damage in between turns, as long as it's in the active slot. Once it evolves or is swapped out of the active slot, it ceases to be non-poisoned.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, it is.
Where's that die from?
This is from the Magic Lord of the Rings set that came out earlier this year. If you have if you went to like the pre-releases or something, you got the defense.
That's a cool one. I like that.
Oh, Sigma Warp, Super Cleffa, only run 2. Playing Rockets, training
I feel like I should
Gym,
know.
to the rest for Super, and then it's your turn. For those watching at home, this gym increases the retreat cost of all Pokemon in play by 1. This means that his Zubat is kind of stranded. Unless he can attach and retreat, which is always a possibility. The viewers have already seen your deck, right?
Last.
It's been a while. We went to turns, Jake and I. What was that?
His turn's the same as Magic and Pokemon?
Yeah. For the purposes of this format, it's the same as in Magic, where when you go to turns, whoever's turn it is currently is on turn 0, then you go to turn 5. If nobody wins by that point, it's a draw. That's how it happened with Jesse and I a few weeks back when he played a Sprout Tower against my Dragonite deck.
Would it make more sense if the person who has less prizes?
I guess it would, but I just leave it up to the people who do the format. You could argue that in Magic the same applies, where it's like, oh, whoever has the most life should just win, but that's not.
I'll guess that would be teeny.
That's fair. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Valid argument.
And then I'll attach here and I'll fight.
Sure.
Yep.
Burn right through these, aren't we? You're good. Go ahead, gust again. I dare you.
I should. Alright, I'll put this card to computer search. We'll go with.
There's 2 Lost Origin boxes on the shelf. Any plans about selling both? That would be the last 2. Is there a box price on that?
Yeah. Okay, ready?
Yeah, so I have 2 of these in my last 2 Lost
I will trader to Cleffa. I'll put the rainbow here. And then I will pass. No, couldn't do anything. I'll try and eat.
Yep, I also play trainer. Every card I saw this like
That's here.
this was wrong. You might have had a game.
There we go.
We've rapidly gotten to the small stage. Alright, I'll start Crobat. Get the Cleffa. Up there. I'll take the just and I will numbers to eat. Yeah, attempt to eat anyways.
That's cool.
Alright, well. I wish I had
Playing with
Man, my coin flips today have been horrendous.
Really? I like the clairvoyance one. It's based
We're on the opposite.
I've never gotten bit by
We're on the end of the spectrum of Lockdown. I already said you were the 3 and 1.
at least not with
So it wasn't against pleasure, was it?
It was.
Yeah. So Dark Helix was doing
I'm ult to 3.
Crobat,
except
20 to Ditto.
I would have to go all the way. I'd have to go all the way to Alistar to get this.
That threw me off. Like the opener was that. It's like some spirit actor. Like some YouTube could actually something.
I think I need to probably run Erebus Dragon. Just like, oh, you dealt with Aerodactyl, now I can Blizzard.
Dude, this guy's hidden line is Blizzard and then
Yeah.
But he's not. I was just talking to my last video with Justin. I might shave it down and just go for more
I got Soul, after the evolution.
having
And then I'll
boost,
try.
being able to reset the trash exchange, like that card is very interesting. It's very fun to play. I don't really know if it's shaped. I think it's just R&D. But like if I use fur, put stuff in my deck, change the odds of like what's getting discarded after trash exchange.
Still hold on.
Yeah, no, for sure. If you crack that against me, I'm playing totally different. I don't know. I would just whittle them down. Just to me then.
Well, not Mewtwo, because resistance, yeah, would probably have to stick to Aerodactyl.
It's a long game.
Yeah, yep.
That, no, if you go against me, you just bring in deck. Because weakness, I have a lot of stuff. That's good.
Another thing too is I could go Erebus Dragon and create a line with that. I could also run this guy.
What happened? What happened? He's done with the game.
Because if I put it into the
I mean, their game's over as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm
on
like.
my own Aerodactyl,
What happened?
Yeah.
and
You guys are playing.
Quick math over here.
God.
I could go on my own
I'm gonna head home.
Okay.
with it in play, and then
I don't know when you want to meet up before going there.
No, it's it.
6:30ish.
Okay.
It's just weird, like,
Yeah, I mean, after I'm done here, basically I have to know.
Just let me know when you get home.
Okay.
We'll figure it out.
Alright.
Bree's home early, so she can
Okay.
Oh, here are the DCP, then Gust Up, Pineco.
I don't know. I really want clairvoyance. Like it is good. Knowing exactly what's in your opponent's hand.
finally got an ink because it was guaranteed.
Fortress.
Yeah, your opponent plays with their hand in war. Like set is very powerful. Like a lot more so than I thought it would be. Because well, like you play the game, and then yes, it is very powerful for someone watching. They're probably like that's kind of dumb.
James, is nice hanging out here.
Thank you.
Catch you later. Are you leaving Frog Shader for next week?
Yeah, I'll make sure that it's a complete deck.
I like that. It's not part of the.
Based on
Catch you guys later.
I play a lot of my turns. Usually they have the worst case scenario and the worst case scenario.
yeah.
And then like I always have like what you check the guard, check the guard. I'm always kind of looking to treat angling that same idea.
You know, my opener was power play or mine, one of the two. One of the two mana makers. A forest and an expedition.
I'll do 20 to Quest.
20 to Cleffa?
I know what you're talking about.
And then I will try to.
I'm just using that because if they, yep, 'cause if they give Dratini a special condition, that really sucks. So I can just ER myself to get it back up there.
It's like,
put Dark Dragonite instead of Green Dance. Doesn't that disrupt the dragon? Light dragon? Oh, Dark Dragon. The breeders. I don't think so, man. Articuno is mid also. Articuno hitting your own bench.
So it's whenever something big finds my active Pokemon.
Yeah, the new active takes down.
Does that mean if Crossfire becomes function, does not heal, it becomes become active?
Well, if he kills the active, then I bring Cleffa up. It's not my turn yet, right?
Yeah.
I'm saying you retreat clock.
Yeah, if I retreat Cleffa and then try to bring it back, I'll just.
Really?
With air synergy. One off, one
And then I'll tail strike. So that's 40.
What is tail?
Just 20.
Okay. Double damage on the hit. Fair enough. What's the damage
I
on
took
the
the war total, so I got what's for people
If it was a 2, I would late stages.
It's just so like vanilla.
It's like very fairy tale inspired, like classic fairy tale inspired. Like there's
I don't think it has enough teeth. Damage outputs in it.
like Brothers Grimm fairy tale.
I'll do one more.
Run,
And I will.
Fortress is not symmetrical, to be clear.
No.
But like, well, Plus Power doesn't.
During your opponent's
Plus Power
turn,
doesn't
your
self damage. But whenever I have a Pokemon attack, this is Kaiju does damage. That's pretty.
I get to. So, Friend or Dark Dragonair? Dark Dragonair allows me to search my deck for an evolution card during my turn and put it in my hand. Once per turn.
If I bulk at something that's shit fire, and then I'm neutral,
Yes.
and he has a clock up.
There's kindness.
It's very good in a deck that is just colorless Pokemon when everyone plays.
Like, I'm so close to being able to play that if I just don't play Zapdos. You know?
Erika's kindness. 2 damage counters off of each Pokemon in play. Yeah, it's also just like a meta call.
Then Tail Strike. No, Flip Decay.
Hey,
We got there.
Let's go.
What?
Wait, you hear the heads?
That was I think my first hits in the game.
Oh, I've been watching. I was just making fun of you for it.
I got a bunch of cards I want. Just make it, I don't know what to do with this. I put it out so many different things. You think Starmie can hit?
Dark Golbat, attempt to Cleffa.
It's fine. It's the last platform he's gonna take.
I'll gust up the Light Dragonair.
Whooper is just Zapsa. Oh no, dude, if you're doing Whooper, then there's just a swag cards that are viable, right? I love this little guy. Does this have music, guys? Yeah. resist lightning, and then you amnesia their electro burn, so they can't damage you.
Quagsire?
Yeah.
Yeah. I told you he's good.
There's Wooper. I still don't care, dude. Wooper's a homie. Quagsire's an abomination. We'll move on.
Gotta love it when the water type counters the best electro type in the format.
Kind of sick.
Water gun and a fake.
Alright, I'll pass.
Yeah, you will. Activate Dark Dragonair.
Quagsire had.
The stadium is what's making the take 10 a thing, right? Or is that the...
Oh no,
That's Fortress on the bench. The stadium just increases the cost of return stuff.
He's on
Reveal a Light Dragonite. And
play game.
so I'm gonna shuffle. I'm also gonna use friend ball. I can't use the friend ball, I apologize. I just KO'd the thing that lets me friend ball.
Oh yeah.
It's true. You can friend ball for grass or metal type real quick.
What color this deck has any grass or steel types in
No, I
it.
believe in you.
Why bother flip when you can just get your own anyway?
So we'll remove here, then use for it.
That's too cute. It's way too cute. What do you do, a 2-2? It's better body than Dragonite. Whatever it is. But then probably should run that if you don't know. Yeah.
Attach it here. Yep. And light wave for the KO. Yep.
Yeah, I go Fisher. Here's what to do. Remove 2 damage counters over the Pokemon in play. No. Extra painful. Messing up.
Fucking 3 fishermen.
If I'm going up the evolutionary line,
Just the basic damage of that.
3 fishermen.
what do you do? You bring
2 is
I'm sure there's a deck somewhere that plays 3 fishermen. Like, that's probably a Rain Dance or Frogs list.
He's making a rain dance instead of fucking 3 fishermen.
Put here.
Yeah. Three different energies on it.
Yeah.
Too many can't attack.
Can't attack because is that
Miraculous went.
oh wait, so it doesn't how does
Your
it affect
your metal energy doesn't have its effect, and it also doesn't provide metal for the purposes of the attack.
Oh, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
Really?
If you want to wind back a couple game actions, like what you want to put in the active slot, you're more than welcome to.
So does that just oh, that's just all special energy, just don't.
Yeah, they don't have their extra effects. If you try to warp out of the active slot, that wouldn't work either. For those watching at home, the Pokemon that I have in my active slot is called Light Dragonite. It has an ability that basically nullifies the secondary effects of all special energies in play, as long as Light Dragonite is in the active slot. This means that my opponent's metal, darkness, and rainbow energies, for example, don't provide additional types of energy, because in addition to nullifying all secondary effects, it makes it so that any special energies only provide colorless rather than their usual cost. They still provide the amount, so boost energy provides 3, but they don't have any extra effects, and they just provide colorless. It's also the reason why the boost energy up front hasn't fallen off yet, because it shuts down that effect.
I don't think there's any way I can win.
There's a world in which you poison Dragonite with Zubat. That shuts down the ability.
Oh yeah.
Same fighting energies for the first one.
It's bulkier than light or
How many cards do you even have?
dark Vaporeon.
Over 7.
This is a feral deck.
Jimmy, how he splashes fighting energy.
Miraculous. Oh, so it's as long as it's your
I know
hand.
it's not.
Yes. If you gust up
Right.
something
Like
else,
if this is ever
then
coming in,
that also shuts
it's
down.
hitting for 40. And it's loaded up. Unironically though, playing this for the fair like that, really, that's a dog.
Also just retreats it too.
I'll run 2 DC.
We don't need war before we're done. We just run these things.
Yeah, I'll run two.
I'll discard 2 for Item Finder.
Yep.
I'll do Gust
I traded my spare charger
Put a bunch of stuff
for.
Yeah.
but I want a power.
Travis is
I'll do Gust for Dark
got
Dragon.
man at the battle station. We got
And then I'll copy that.
Yeah, you got it.
That was how many cards again? Sorry.
7.
Does it make it? I think it was funny.
Full grip.
shame. I like energy
And
saving,
the map
but
just
it's,
moved it up
it is good
for a while.
Too.
Definitely won me a game and a half, dude.
Just gotta find more of them.
On top.
Yeah, once you get the engine going with like 3 bats on the bench and a bunch of evolution sprays, then
That's
things start to die.
Yeah.
That's the reason I paired it with Steelix originally, because it makes the threshold for things that die easily to bats significantly
Oh yeah.
the benchmark is easy to achieve.
Because it allowed me to start clock installer.
Yeah.
Like when the energy back
do
is
that.
Yeah, and then go into that.
It put me from
That's crazy.
yeah, it put me from 7 to 8. Exactly
Gold
enough.
bat.
And I did get an extra one up
10
on
to
that,
Dark
so that's
Dragon Air.
He said he could finish his chips up. Chips.
I'm willing to get funky for that. So,
He said his
It's really making me
chips.
think.
not bad. Not a bad card. But like, the big thing is you have to manage it. I would play Clefairy first.
Unless you want to, if you're trying to make a surveillance thing, not knowing if it dies, like,
I'll do
I would already be running.
Dark Crobat, 22 Dratini,
What?
and then I'll attack with Fortress.
You got rainbow in that equation?
While in play, Rainbow counts as
I think there's a way I can win. Real tricky.
Big slug.
Yeah. Big slog.
When attacking with rainbow, can you decide it is electric for the attack?
on Zapdos, so it's 2 separate checks. It's the check for the attack and the requirement,
And then it checks the damage.
and then damage it counts as all but only one at a time. For
I'll make you
quantity
work for this prize.
It's
gonna be tough for these
electro
prizes.
burn, it will self-damage you.
Suddenly,
Yeah.
suddenly this is a burn deck.
What's the Pokemon that is around that? Oh, it's using copying Zapdos' attack.
That's right. Natural only Zapdos is electro burn.
So it allows you to
Not
not full damage and just smack for 700. Yeah.
You'll feel the fight.
That's what it was. It's the same with all soft damaging attacks that work with back there.
yeah.
So anything
Or like
Cards in hand?
say
5.
there's like what you call it? Like discard 3 fire energy
It's not
attached to
like
me.
it's already back, it just doesn't work. Doesn't do anything. Kindle, would Kindle do stuff? Could you Kindle?
For a rainbow.
No, with a copy. Could you copy a Kindle and pitch it into Kindle?
Then item finder roll, pitching a DCE, fan club, and cycling.
Even roll it down and discard the energy.
Yeah, it's all that.
I didn't know if it was just for damage or something.
Fall Dratini into light dragon, and then attempt to light wave. Here we go.
Dark Crobat. I'll do 22. Light Dragonite?
Light Dragon, okay. 80 HP.
Dream sitting control and then getting there to vary and then just playing it to vary.
Alright, I'll discard 2 for Item Finder.
Yeah, they are.
How many cards in hands?
5. More than 5. I got 6.
Alright, 6.
Yeah, cessation, crystal, power, extension.
With the chance of that kind of happening,
Yeah, I'll go with.
way better than the mana dork because you have a you probably poured out.
Go with Copycat. I will do the Copycats. Yeah.
Or veil.
It's all
Yeah, because he kept dashing in Ragavan, and I just couldn't draw any of my lightnings to save my life.
Can activate Igglybuff targeting my Furret?
I'd like to.
I can't use Furret this turn during your turn?
It felt really bad.
Oh, if only Igglybuff was slightly different.
Yeah, definitely. That's what I realized after the fact. There was the match that you and I drew. You should have probably won that. Because there were, I think, 2 points during that game where I used Igglybuff on your active
So you have
jump up.
6?
I finally saw this
That was
card.
fun.
Those 6 cards you have in hand?
Yeah. I mean, Igglybuff would be good against your deck, I guess, actually. A little bit.
That's true.
That makes 2 decks in the meta that Igglybuff is usable.
Not bad.
The absolute, like,
Just gotta wait for someone to pull out a Dark Trio deck, right? It's like the other Fortress. Oh, man. Getting ready for the Dark Drain shenanigans. With all these bad decks coming online, people are gonna start calling for Muck to come back.
I would never.
Never again.
Much too heinous.
Bats and Dark Dragonair and Furret are collectively still better than Muck.
I think putting Muck back in the format is just a big feel bad for
It is.
Justin. And
You know, it's also a feel bad for Justin. Turn 1 Aerodactyl.
yeah,
That's a good one.
I have to shift that deck around. I was thinking of putting Erica's Dragonair in it, just as like a, oh, you dealt with my Aerodactyl. Cool. Blizzard.
That's what Eric was doing against me. I'm like, at first I thought he was going to try and take away something, but even though, like, the way that Light Dragonite works, that's not going to happen, but he just started Blizzarding on, like, turn 2, and I'm like, oh. I forgot that was an option.
A whole new ability.
Oh, yeah. Never underestimate.
Guess I'll pass.
Then flip to Lightwave. Are we calling that a heads?
Yeah, I'd call it a head.
This is like the other expensive half. Yeah, this is like the other expensive half of the Rotana collection. So, it's so cheap.
I'll pass.
passed up Zubat and Light Wave for the KO.
So I'm confused about what day. I think we want to do a little bit better with vertical stack that pertain, so that somebody has to like if Ryan wants to do this is DPS sort of. And then this is unsorted. That's it. So end of day, put it back. Get it done, yeah, just put it back.
You got it. Item finder comp search.
Well, you're gonna, in like active rest, you should be playing more games on 4 than 2 courts. At the very least, you're paying 50%
It's a card I want, and it's in my 2 prizes. Oh wait, that means I know exactly what my 2 prizes are. Attempt to KO with Light Wave.
I'll remove boost. And I will. I guess I'll eat.
Do it again. Flip to KO with Light Wave. There it is.
I'll remove the energy.
Oh, there you go. That energy has a family.
Alright, guess I'll attack.
Dark Drain. There we go. So this is for White Dragonite?
Yes. Nope.
Tails, you prefer it?
Yep.
For those watching at
Got some
home,
damage there.
Dark Drain is Crobat's attack that allows him to flip a coin for each. I guess you played around actually already with this, right? With Crobat?
Actually no, today I didn't play.
Oh, okay.
And, no,
So
that was last week.
He flips a coin for each of my Pokemon in play, and for each heads he deals 10 to that Pokemon and restores 10 health from Dark Crobat. Catch a DCE here, and pass to you. Yes.
See if I got anything you
Sometimes it's like 3, 4.
Alright, I'll attack. Dragonites. Burrows. Nope. Just put him down here because he'll be moving
Yep, they might
here
be.
and from all that.
I like to play weird like one of them with 5 or one of them or
Alright, all attack. There.
For the other light Dragonite. Warp. Light wave again.
All attack.
Yeah, would you be down for
Nope. I'm pretty sure that's that then. Yeah.
I think it's that bad.
Yeah. It's gonna die.
Untap, upkeep, draw, light wave for the KO. And here's the second Goldberry. There it is. Yes, Light Dragonite has a very good ability.
It does.
That slow keep shuts down certain Pokemon.
I didn't realize that it shut down all special energy from even providing.
Yes, it doesn't. Yeah, that's the way it reads it. They no longer provide energy of their usual type and instead provide colors. But it also becomes weird when you consider Sizor's attack. Because heavy metal doesn't have a metal requirement, but counts the metal energy attached to the Sizor. And in the end, the ruling was that rainbow energy is not natively a metal energy, so it can't provide metal energy or count as it for the attack. But true metal energy does count for the attack. But it just doesn't, again, provide metal energy. So you couldn't snatch with it, but you can contribute it towards the heavy metal total. It's very weird.
Yeah, that is.
It's unfortunate that it just hoses Forretress, because I've been waiting for Forretress to be a good Pokemon for a while.
Yeah, that's tough.
Light Dragonite got there. He was very scary taking prizes off of babies early on, but once I got a Light Dragonite... I think 4 of his prizes were off of either... It was 2 off of Cleffa's, 1 off a Ditto that was pretending to be a Cleffa, and then 1 off of a Dark Dragonair.
Yes. Yeah, the Dark.
And he was threatening to take 1 off of this. He was very close to taking a prize off of the bench to Light Dragonite, but the active one was just sitting pretty with a Goldberry. That's you're not getting rid of that anytime soon.
Goldberry's definitely tough to bat. Just sitting there staring at it like that's 2 Crobats being killed for. That's difficult.
That's 2 Devolution Sprays. My 1 trainer trades for 2 of yours.
I don't know what I could do with this deck to make that. There's some kind of counterplay against.
You start playing dark types and add a plunder effect.
Oh, for the.
There are like 2 dark types that have attacks that specifically read like it's like 10 damage, and you discard the 2.
Oh, yeah.
Like any trainer cards attached to the defending Pokemon, so it gets rid of like Focus Band, Goldberry, things like that.
That'd be funny.
But if your opponent sees one of those, they're more likely to play the Goldberry intelligently and just wait for the damage to go on before doing that. Yeah, there's not much that you can do against Goldberry specifically.
No, more so like the ability for Dark Dragonite. I don't know how. I guess just
it's
swapping it out enough.
Magby, theoretically, but it feels bad if you're using Magby every other turn to just shut it down. Besides, it also affects your own bats and your Fortress at the same time. So it's very much a last resort of, if you really, really want to just attack with Fortress, you can. But
realizing now that the attack for Fortress really is super important to making the deck. Like, that's why it is. Like,
yes, it is for most Fortress decks that is an important element. Maybe you just splash Skyridge Fortress as a 1 or 2 of.
That's true.
Because that just becomes another way to put damage on the board.
That is true.
in my experience, that like additional spreaders are a very good pairing for Crobat because, like I mentioned earlier, it does a very good job at making the thresholds for taking prizes way easier for bats.
That's true.
Suddenly, you don't need both a Dark Golbat and a Crobat to take a prize off a baby. You just need one Fortress attack to go through, and then one Crobat.
That's true. That'll do it. I was considering at first doing that instead of this Fortress for this deck, but
it's very good. And if you have the flexible trainer slots, adding Strength Charm also makes that Fortress much better, and it also makes Dark Crobat sometimes much better.
That's true. Still waiting for the day where I use Strength Charm. Well, that's the
It
problem.
does feel a bit cheesy at times. Like, that's the reason that I've sort of... One of the reasons I've sort of stopped playing Steelix decks is because it's tried and true, it's correct in a lot of situations, and it's just one of the best attackers in the format.
Yeah.
And it's just not the most fun thing to brew around with because of that.
Yeah, it's just very...
It's very good at making any
incredibly good.
other thing better to play because it's such a small package for what is one of the best attacks in the format. Growth Thrust plus Strength Charm.
I would say, I'm waiting for the day where I use Strength Charm on Dark Crobat, but like I feel like at the point where I'm attacking Dark Crobat, it kind of feels like the game probably isn't.
That's
going
why you add the
very well.
Fortress. There's another reason to play Strength Charm.
That's true. It is pretty good at that too.
No. Just one in the grass to deal 20 to your opponent's bench is not bad.
That is true. I'll have to think about that then. I wish I had bought one of those before. Well, either way, good game.